Prices are rising in Arizona. So what can 600,000 get me in Gilbert?
Yeah, well, there's a wide range of opportunities, and Gilbert is a long city. It goes north and south for a long way, a little bit skinny. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting when you look at the dynamics between north, central, and south, kind of the different types of homes you get. And we're ready to dive into that today and just kind of see what the same price point gets you around town.
Let's talk about some of the different neighborhoods. But first, let's talk about Gilbert as a whole, the town of Gilbert. Some of the different areas. We've got the Heritage District.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Well, look, it's where all the hype is now. It's downtown, right? It's kept its kind of charm of yesteryear, yet all the modern shopping and restaurants and clubs and entertainment and for the whole family is right there downtown.
I mean, you've got a building from the 1800s that's got neon on it, and you go inside, it's all modernized, and you don't even realize, that it's that old. And then you go next door, and it's like brand new.
Yeah. And you've got the tower, which is iconic now. They're really a throwback to the heritage of the town itself. Yet, I tell you what, you go down there on a Saturday night, look out.
Trust me, Saturday nights when I lived at Gilbert and Warner back in the late 90s, downtown Gilbert is not like it is today. I could go down there with no traffic, nobody. Liberty Market was actually still a market, not a great restaurant, but it's fantastic to see the change. Now I'm like, man, I should have held on to that property.
Yeah. Well, then it's interesting to drive around downtown to Heritage because you've got a lot of older homes typically in that area. Several vacation rentals. There have been some that turned into businesses. There's some been rezoned. But you've got a good number of homes that are still owner-occupied. Many, I'm guessing, long time by the same families in many cases. When you see those older homes that used to be in the neighborhood with nothing else around.
Second or third
other
generation.
Other than the grocery store.
and we've got multiple places for nightlife because we've got the Heritage District, and then we can actually come down to Santan Village. We've got the actual village, but then we can go up to the area by Topgolf. We've got a lot of different opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
We can go shoot and drink right after if we want to. We can play Topgolf.
Yeah,
that's actually what you have to do.
Yeah,
and then if we want to tone things down, we can actually go just a mile over and go over to the Agritopia area and have Joe's Farm Grill. Go over to Bar None and have some nice, a little bit quieter.
The coffee shop is great
in
the morning. Oh, so good. You can go there and pick fruit in the garden at Agritopia. Yeah. Or vegetables, whatever they got going on that time. So it's really a remarkable place.
Yeah, it is. And a lot's come up around Joe's Farm Grill as well. There's new restaurants. There's the air guitar thing that's right there on the corner. And it's just great to see the growth that's come in that area.
Yeah, epicenter. You think about this modern housing, kind of high rise by Gilbert standards. Yet, really good restaurants and health spas and clubs and types of all kinds of businesses there. So it's been really unique to see the different types of development.
Love it.
So let's talk about what we can get for 600,000. You picked a couple of neighborhoods. So let's talk about the first one, Cooley Station.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So this is an area that relatively, this portion of it was built around 05, 6, 7, that range. This is at Higley and, or actually Rucker and Fry is where this one is. So kind of north of Loop 202, a little bit east of Higley, Higley Road. Yep. So this house on Parkview, so it's 4 bedrooms. It's one of the largest square footages. It's listed at 599, 3,145 feet with 4 bedrooms. Now this is, we talked about all the amenities around it for sure. Now this does not have a private pool. It's one of the 3 we're going to look at 600,000 with no private pool. It does have a community pool. And in fact, I think they have 3 there in that section of Cooley Station. So they've got some amenities in that neighborhood. But it's pretty interesting. There's a downstairs bedroom, which is important.
Yeah, it's a guest.
So 2 levels.
Fully made, so a guest room.
Yeah, and you got a full bath downstairs. If somebody's buying a 2-story home like this one, I would always suggest having at least a full bedroom and a full bath downstairs.
You never know when mom and dad need to come stay for a little bit or for the long haul. And, when you're looking at mom and dad staying, stairs just don't work.
We're seeing so much multi-generational living now.
Got to pay attention to it.
And so if you can plan ahead and invest smartly, that's one piece of advice we have for a lot of our clients who are looking at opening 2 stories is to make sure there's some living space and a full bath downstairs.
So this one's got a 3-car garage.
Yes.
Another thing that's great is that elevation. A lot of people like that craftsman look.
That's true, yeah. And by Arizona standards, a decent sized lot, 7,700 feet. You got a little bit of room to run. There's plenty of room to put a pool there if you needed to. But you got 3 in the community that you can use. So, relatively newer home. Say newer now. It's almost 20 years old, huh? But great community and super freeway close, just north of 202.
And really close to that Agrotopia area that we were just talking about.
Yeah, you ride your bike over there.
Yeah, you could ride your bike.
Yeah, easily.
So, Steve, what does the payment look like on this one?
Okay, so this property here on Parkview Drive in Cooley Station. Now, I did everything, again, static, $125 a month for HOI, which is homeowners insurance. I did $155 a month for PMI because I did it on a 30-year fix, 5% down, conventional loan, assuming a 760 plus FICO score, just to kind of keep everything static in those aspects. So this one, the principal and interest payment on that with 5% down is going to be $37.38 a month.
Okay.
Add in your taxes, insurance, HOI, and PMI. Now you're talking total housing payment of $43.07, and that includes that homeowners association of $90 a month. Even though it's not part of your monthly payment, it's still something that we consider as part of your total housing expense when we go to qualify you.
And everybody should plan on that because it's not going away.
No, it's not going away. So you're talking just north of $4,300 a month for 3,000 square feet in Cooley Station in Gilbert. So
yeah, and note that also that's kind of the highest property taxes that we're going to see in this selection of 3 homes. They've got a lot of development going on there, so the taxes are a little bit higher on that home.
Yes, sir.
Which obviously affects the payment. Yep.
So let's talk about the next neighborhood. We're gonna go further west.
Yes.
And we're gonna go into one of the few lake communities that Gilbert has.
It's gorgeous. I mean, the islands. If you've ever been around or through the islands or been in a home that's on the water, I mean, you've got these boat docks, you got boats, they've got light parades going on. It's really
it's a fun community.
Very tight knit, fun, energetic. A lot of parties I hear going there.
and I'll tell you what, the light parades are one of the coolest things here in Arizona.
Yeah.
My kids love to do it with their grandparents. They theme out at the holidays, put the lights on. They get in costumes. I think this year they were Anna and Elsa and all that stuff from Frozen, and they won an award, and they love to do it. And it's so cool seeing it, and it just brings the whole community together. And the Islands is one of those communities that does that.
Yeah, very well known. Again, close to downtown Gilbert, like we talked about, but and plenty to do right around the area. But man, just the sunsets and like the colors in the sky and the water and the reflections. It's just really a magical part of town.
Yeah, when you can get a waterfront property in Gilbert, I mean, because it's a man-made lake, but hey, it's still waterfront property and it's fun.
There was a country song about that, oceanfront property in Arizona, but it was lakefront property in Arizona.
Yeah. Well, and this one's interesting on San Mateo because it's a 5-bedroom house. So 2,800 feet, so good enough size. But the largest of the 3 that we're sampling here, under 600,000. This is actually listed right at 600,000 in the islands with a private pool. I think it's such a good deal because I noticed that in this one, it's been remodeled. The kitchen redone, some of the bathrooms have been redone, the flooring, they had the plank wall.
The plank wall in the great room, the kitchen's redone, but man, it's all one area, great room. So you're there in the kitchen, you look out and it's this well done upgrades in there. But Ty, the lot.
Let's talk about that. 10,000
square foot
there. Massive.
Corner lot.
You got an RV gate there,
or
right?
cul-de-sac lot.
Yeah, exactly. So, not that you can keep your boat there unless it's below the fence line.
Below the fence line.
But, what a great, you don't see that big of a lot, especially, in a community like that. So, now, this home is a little bit older, but of course it's been remodeled. So, you pay a little bit by having an older home, yet most of the stuff that you need to do has already been done.
In order by Arizona standards.
Well, good point.
Ty, you walk in that house, there's no way it feels like it's 1989.
No.
You know, we've been in a lot of the homes that you walk in, it's built in 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, and it has that feel, you know, the rounded window, everything. This one doesn't feel that way.
Yeah.
They've updated, and they've updated it well.
Yeah, you're right. You know, and it's for those of you who like to look at price per foot, it's an interesting take because this is about $214 a foot with a pool and that lot. So you got to factor. You know, we don't always look at price per foot because you got to factor in a pool and upgrades and how big the lot is and is it waterfront, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But if you follow that, $214 seems like a pretty good deal for that much house in that part of town.
Steve, what does the payment look like?
Very similar, because all these are going to be very similar when you're talking about the principal and interest payment. So just a little bit more because it's $600,000 versus $599. So it's, you know, $37.44 instead of $37.38. Now the HOA here, because it's an established community, is going to be a little bit lower. So it's $55 a month, and then the taxes, like you mentioned, a little bit lower on this. So total housing payment on this just shy of $42.50 at $42.47 a month total housing payment.
Okay.
So, I mean, all said and done. I mean, when you're talking 5-bedroom, 3-bath, right?
It is.
Yeah.
3.5.
3.5, yeah.
Well, can't forget that.
With a game room, too. Bonus room.
All right, forget it. Now we got the lake. All right, Ty, you might have to show me a house.
Not a bad deal. Let's go through that one.
All right, Ty, let's... you're the expert in this next neighborhood because you live there.
Yeah.
Let's go to Seville.
I am such a big fan of this neighborhood. I've been there almost 4 years now. And you know, if you're looking for community, people that get together and do great things and share great causes, and you've got a private golf course and a restaurant, the club, and the work everything. There's an aquatic center with like water slides, Olympic pool,
and we're talking not only a golf course community, but we have the LPGA tour there.
Coming up.
Yeah.
Coming up. Yeah, professional
so,
ladies
like an
tours
actual,
coming.
official golf course community.
It's legit. And so whether you're into that or not, maybe you're not into golf or pickleball or tennis, all the things you could do. Just the camaraderie of the people and the community, and there's traditions every year. The golf cart parade, or the s'mores on St. Reuben, where everybody comes together and does s'mores. Or like all the things that happen throughout the year. It's just a really wonderful community, and so we were happy to see that there was actually something under 600,000 in there, which is fantastic.
So this is a home that is designed for entertaining, especially in the backyard.
That backyard, yeah. What did you notice about that?
So we've got a pool.
Yep.
So before we get out there, we've got a screened-in patio, and then we go out there. We've got a pool. We've got a bar, a covered bar.
Yeah.
We've got if we want to, if it's cold out there, we've got a custom fireplace that's all ready to
keep
go.
You warm.
I mean, it is set up.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
Now, if you this is also the only single level that we've sampled here today, and so for a lot of people, especially they're downsizing, it's a little over 1,800 feet. So for some people who are coming maybe from one of these larger 2 stories that want a little less space, maybe they're empty nesters or just looking for less to clean or whatever, right?
Right.
It's appealing, but there's always that backyard where you want to entertain and bring people and spend the summer by the pool.
Well, we spend a lot of our time in Arizona. I mean, I know it's hot in the summertime, but right now we're outside. I spend most of my weekends out on the patio doing stuff in the yard, entertaining in my backyard.
Yeah.
That's my outdoor kitchen. That's my space. So, yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Exactly right.
And you've got that built in.
They've done some nice updates.
They have.
That kitchen, white over gray, really popular now. Pendant lights.
Yep. Yeah, you can tell the people who have had ownership pride and who have put money and invested money into the home to update it. This home was built in 2005, so of course it's needed to have a little TLC along the way, just to kind of make it a little more modern as they go. And so, we look at the pool, we look at it's a little bit smaller lot, 6,600 feet than what we've seen the other 2, and the square footage, of course, is the lowest, which puts the cost per foot a little bit higher, $327.
Single levels usually are higher in price per square foot, right, Ty?
They're more desirable, absolutely. So in the smaller the square footage, the highest price per foot.
Okay.
As you move up in size of the home, then the price per foot goes down.
And when you have a single level, on a lot, you're definitely going to have more
Yep.
price per square foot because it has to fit on the lot.
And it's just there are more buyers for single level homes than 2-story homes. Like that's just the buyer pool has always been bigger. People who prefer 1 story over 2.
Yeah. And this one's got an RV gate, which is always popular. Steve, what's the payment on this one?
Very similar to our home in Cooley Station. So we're talking that principal and interest payments can be right there at $37.38. Again, all things considered, you add in the HOA, tax, and the other things we mentioned, you're right at $42.58. So all of these are within about $50 a month of each other. It just depends on what great Gilbert community you want to be living in.
Yeah, that's right.
Really, honestly and truly, it's all about location, right? Do you want to be a little further south, a little north? Islands is right there next to State Route 87's right there. The 60's just up the road. I mean, all of them have great locations. Where do you want to be?
That's it. Yeah, but Gilbert, what a great town to live in and be a part of. Yeah, it's really, really spectacular.
And if you want to,
because you were in Chandler first.
That's back and forth. I've been back and forth.
So was I. I made the move. If you want to check out some great Gilbert homes, check us out at KlausTeam.com.